The death of Tommy Grimes. I'm starting out with the characterizations of Tommy Grimes. So let me just zoom in here. Let me scroll over here. Let's start with the outer characterization. Tommy is the main character in the short story. His character develops from that of an innocent boy to a young adult in terms of his mindset. Tommy's outer characterization reveals that he is a white, 12-year-old American boy who lives somewhere in the state of Mississippi. He has dark blonde hair, which can be seen on page 4, line 21, I believe it is, yes. And he has recently learned how to use a rifle. Now, about his inner characterizations. Tommy's inner characterization is constructed through his thoughts, memories, actions, and reactions to the events he is experiencing. Hunting plays a vital role in the community Tommy lives in. His father and his friends put a lot into it, yet Tommy does not like to kill. And this can be told by the line 6 to 15 on the first page. And Tommy's father is aware of that. This can be seen just a few lines deeper into the story. And the fact that Tommy is afraid of killing makes his father get a little bit embarrassed when he is with the other men at the hut, because they brag about the boys being talented hunters. So Tommy realizes that to impress his father and become a part of this community, he needs to become a good hunter and become a part of the fact his father keeps telling him. Some varmints do damage and just plain got to be killed, which means that some living objects are no good alive. And in order to make his father proud, Tommy starts practicing his rifle abilities and skills, and after a while he thinks himself ready to kill his first prey. He kills a black runaway slave by shooting him right through the heart, and Tommy finally gets accepted as a man and a part of the community. Tommy was still shocked though about killing another human being, but the joy and pride that he gets from his father and his friends overshadows the cruelty of the kill. Now let's take a look at the reflections on significance of the flashbacks and foreshadowing. The writer has taken an interesting path to construct the story. Throughout the story, a lot of flashbacks appear. They come and go as the story progresses. But the question is, why have the writer written so much about Tommy's past? Usually flashbacks helps give the reader a better understanding of the text and giving a better picture of the main character generally and how he acts and why he acts like he does. In this story, it's very essential for the plot in order to fully understand why Tommy is out hunting with his father against his own will, because Tommy doesn't like to kill, as I explained earlier. And this needs to be explained, and flashbacks is a really good tool to put in use. Along with flashbacks, usually foreshadowing follows. In the story, as said, there's a lot of flashbacks, and to Tommy's background, and this sort of builds up a momentum, I guess you could say, towards the ending. And a certain picture of Tommy is created through the text. A peaceful kid who doesn't really want to hurt anyone, and then suddenly we are told that he shot a black slave. Even though a picture of Tommy is created, the situation escalates. We know he is hunting, we know he has a rifle, and therefore we get a feeling that something is going to get hurt. But what it is what keeps the reader continuing reading. So both flashbacks and foreshadowing plays a major role in the story. Moving on from the reflections on the flashbacks and foreshadowing, I'm going to the discussion of the meaning of the title and the end. So the title to the story is very deceiving compared to the ending. Once you have read the title, The Death of Tommy Grimes, as that says here, the thought of death is the first thing that pops up to my mind. And the title tells about Tommy's death, yet he didn't really die, only in a sort of spiritual sense, you could say, which throughout the story the author conveyed discreetly, you could say, yeah. The first line in the story reads, Tommy had become a part of the ground. And when a man or woman dies, she literally also becomes a part of the ground. So this can have you thinking Tommy also will become a part of the ground. Later on, Tommy's father introduces hunting to the reader, and therefore Tommy's death could be related to a gun or in a hunting situation where Tommy dies. But what is taking most of the reader as a surprise is the way Tommy dies. He finally kills an animal, in this case a black slave, and he died in a sort of spiritual way, you could say. A little piece of him died, just like the animal he shot. It can actually be related to a rebirth. Killing the black slave killed the peaceful side of Tommy, and a new tougher Tommy was born once he killed it. Or maybe the black slave is a symbol of Tommy's weak side that he needed to kill in order to become a part of the manhood. Now, moving from the discussion of the title and end to a little extra thing I thought would be nice to bring. Final thoughts. So, the story of Tommy Grimes is all in all a well-written short story, sorry, due to its construction with flashbacks and foreshadowing playing really good together, and a well thought through title connection with the end, as we saw in this discussion. Yeah, yet the flashbacks I think can seem quite confusing, but it really helps building momentum towards a shocking end. So yeah, all in all, a very nice short story, and I liked it a lot.